Today is April 9th, 2023, Easter Sunday, Masters Sunday, for everybody celebrating. But today, we're here to talk about the Yankees, episode 5 of the Yankees Kingdom podcast. I'm your host, Sean Vowles, and today I'm joined by Chris Lorenzo. Jackson is not going to be here today. He'll be back for the Guardians recap on Wednesday. But Chris, we're 6-3, 3 series wins. I know what's happening down in Tampa, but all things are pretty good. Takeaways from the series and really the 9 games that we've played so far as a whole.
Yeah, so I'll start with the takeaways for the series. I mean, anytime you lose game one and win the series, you'll take that. I mean, you lose game one, you're looking to just fight off and just win the next game, take a game by game. But we got it to a rubber game after that, and then looks pretty good today, obviously. I mean, game one was disappointing, loss, close one, 7-6. But overall, obviously, it stinks when there's a team that's 9-0 in your division. But to be fair, they haven't really played anyone good, so not really too worried about that yet. And it's so early on. Like, the Astros have looked bad. There's some good teams that have looked bad. So we got a lot of time, not really worried about anything. But I would actually say we're overperforming slightly because of all the injuries that we have. I would say I expected us to probably be like a game worse than we are, like record-wise, but I'm very happy so far.
Yeah, Orioles series pretty good. Obviously, there's a lot of things that we're going to critique there, especially in the first game. But if you play 2 out of every 3 games pretty well over the course of a season, probably going to end up at the top of the division. Like you said, the Rays have played probably the 3 worst teams in the MLB, the A's, the Nationals, and the Tigers. Obviously, they did all they can do, and they won them all, but I really do think we got to get to June before we really start worrying about other teams' records, especially with the more balanced schedule now. We're going to see all those teams too, so...
yeah, it'll even out.
Yeah, so a couple injury or roster notes to take into account that happened during this series. Josh Donaldson to the IL, 10 days. They don't think it'll take more than that. Willie Calhoun was brought up. And then reliever Jonathan Loaizaga was also put on the IL. I'm not really sure what that injury was. You can jump in.
Elbow inflammation.
Elbow inflammation, okay. So then Johnny Brito comes back, and he starts in game 2. Not a good sign for Johnny. We saw him down for a lot of parts last year. But they got Brito up quicker than we thought. They needed an injury to do it, and he starts game 2. But first, Chris, unless there's any more takeaways, you could take it away with game 1.
Yeah, so the Yankees lost 7-6. Clark Schmidt started the game. He gave up 4 runs in the first 3 innings. But Franchi Cordero came up clutch with a 3-run bomb to cut the lead 4-3. Hamilton came in after that, did the job, and Judge had a great diving catch in center, which saved a run. And then Cabrera ripped a 2-run double to give the Yankees a 5-4 lead. IKF and Volpe left him on third, which was crucial because there was only 1 out and we left him on third. And then Marinaccio and Cordero, the pitcher, allowed the Orioles to take a 7-5 lead, a really bad wild pitch. That was kind of frustrating to watch. And then Cabrera comes up top 8, gets his 3rd hit and his 3rd RBI of the game to cut the lead to 7-6. But then Trevino hit a crucial double play after showing bunt on the previous 2 pitches, so that was very frustrating. That killed all our momentum there. And then IKF struck out with a tying run at third to end the inning. Top 9, Volpe and DJ get out. Judge walks, steals second, and then gets a third on a wild pitch before Rizzo flies out to end the game. So we had our chances. We definitely could have scored a little bit more. And yes, we did score 6, but we had the opportunity to score 10 double digits there. But really just frustrating loss, and the pitching wasn't great either, and that was very frustrating. I mean, Schmidt looked horrible. I don't know what's going on with him.
Yeah, there's a bunch of things that we're going to talk about in this game and probably take most of the time here. Like you said, Clark needs to be better. 2 starts in a row now where he has given up more runs than innings he's pitched. His ERA is over 9. He's giving up hits. He's walking batters. He's not really getting that swing and miss stuff. So he's got to step it up. And and he'll get more opportunities, kind of because we don't really have a choice right now. But certainly he's probably the first one to drop out of the rotation once we get Sevi Rodon or, well, I guess that's it, Sevi or Rodon back. But yeah,
Yeah.
I was really disappointed with Clark. He it seems like things just go wrong so easily for him. Like he'll have his good innings, well, he'll look good, but it seems like rarely one thing goes wrong. It becomes two, three, four, real quick.
Yeah.
And he's got to get his pitch count. He's got to figure out his pitch count. 84 pitches to get just into the fourth inning.
Well, honestly, I feel like that's been all our pitchers. Honestly, with the
Yeah.
pitch count, all our starters have struggled with that. Really, I mean,
And then
I know it's early in the season, but that's been a
well,
problem.
that makes it even more important
Yeah.
early in the season. But yeah, he got through the same amount of time against the Giants in the first series, 3.1 innings, and he took 76 pitches to get out of that one. So, yeah, I do think I don't know if Clark's stuff really plays in the majors as much as people might think, but I think we got that one. The next situation that I would like to go to is after Marinaccio, the Yankees went to Jimmy Cordero out of the bullpen, and he could not do anything right. Was it 4 wild pitches, a walk?
Yeah, one led to a run.
One
as
led
well.
to a run. But Chris Boone going to him and then Wandy after knowing Wandy was available, I think that was a bad move. Should have gone to Wandy first.
Yeah.
And it just happens too often. These Boone dumb decisions just happen too often. Go ahead.
Like with Cordero, I don't really know too much about him, to be honest. I feel like he's not really proven, and I don't understand why we're putting him in a situation like this. I feel like you need to feel him out more. In a game where you're losing by one, it's close, or you're up by one or two. Like put him in a game where we're up by like 5 or something. Like he hasn't really earned anything yet. No offense to him, but like obviously if we have Wandy and Wandy's proven himself in these situations, I'm much more comfortable with Wandy.
Yeah. Cordero's been up and down from the minors to the majors his entire career. He's 31 years old, so he's not young, but he played for the Nationals in 2018, 22 appearances, 5 ERA. Blue Jays and White Sox in 2019, roughly a 3 ERA across 30 games, and then another year with Chicago to a 6 ERA. So he's pitched 87 innings in the majors, but to a 4.7 ERA. And as somebody out of the bullpen, that's just not. I don't think we can expect him to be a high leverage guy. Like he's got to be one of the last choices. There's a reason why he was one of the last people on the team.
Exactly.
He has promise, and I get why he's up because he can throw really hard and he has a couple really nice pitches. But you can keep him on the roster. You don't have to throw him in that position. So I think the key to game one for me was the Boone poor decisions, plural, meaning there's another one.
That's the last thing. So I would just say that thing, like bad decision by Boone or whatever. I would just say. Yeah.
All right, we're back, fellas. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Seems like we're good for now. Chris, we're still in game one. Boone, poor decisions. We already talked about the wrong reliever coming in that spot. And then the other bad decision was Franchi Cordero getting pinch hit for IKF. I understand it was a lefty. I understand all that, but I really don't like it. As early as the 6th inning, he didn't come through, and then IKF comes up next time around the order because it was so early in the 6th, and it was in the 8th, and he struck out in a big spot, and he's supposed to be the guy that doesn't do that. So Franchi, at least now, after what's happened in the rest of the series, he's proven to me that he should be in there no matter what. lefty righty. He got a hit against a tough lefty today, but once again, it's just a couple too many bad decisions from Boone. Like, you really can't be doing this this early in the year. And it's really a game that we should have won. It's the most runs we scored in this series in a game. And plenty of opportunities to come through and didn't. Really, really frustrating.
Well, also, IKF at that moment, I believe, he's 0 for 12 now.
Yeah,
so
hasn't gotten a hit yet.
He was 0 for 10 or 0 for 9 at that point. And I just don't understand the mindset of taking out a guy who just hit a home run and is having a good game. I get the matchup thing. You want to put a righty in, but like, I don't understand taking. It's like the hot hand kind of thing in basketball. Like, why would you not feed the hot hands? Like, it doesn't make any sense. And I get if IKF had a couple hits or whatever, but he literally doesn't even have a hit. So it's like putting in a guy who's cold and not seeing the ball well and put him in a big situation. And like you said, early in the game, he came up again too. It's not like he was just coming in one time. He came in twice and got out twice, 2 big times.
Yeah, I don't love how the bench has been used this year. Hicks, Kiner, anybody else, Cordero when he's been on the bench. We haven't seen him as a pinch hitter or defensive replacement yet. While he'd probably be the best option to be a pinch hitter, but we've seen Hicks start against lefties, even though he's lost at the plate. Doesn't matter what side he's swinging from. We've seen Kiner get some run in center and this pinch hit opportunity when he hasn't gotten a hit all year. It's just a little bit annoying. The Yankees, just because they have a bench doesn't mean you have to use it.
Yeah.
And
I will say that ICAP's defense in center field has been much better than I expected. Like, much better.
No, I'd much rather have him out there in center than Hicks in left.
I agree.
And it probably won't be that common once Bader comes back. But
definitely not, yeah.
But he's doing the job. He's going to get more time there because they're not going to run Judge out there as much as they have been. And he seems to be the only other option in center field right now. I don't think they want to put Oswaldo there.
Probably not. But Oswaldo actually did say he likes that position best in the outfield,
and
which I thought was interesting.
With the injury to Donaldson, you lose an infielder. IKF is probably the backup third baseman now with DJ starting there. So maybe there's a situation where Oswaldo finds himself in center, but
DJ's going to need a day to DH because he can't play third base every day, and we don't even want him to do that. So ICAF's probably going to get a start at third in the next couple of days, I think.
Yeah, because I think they want Oswaldo to stay in the corner outfield.
Yeah, definitely.
Because that seems to be his position right now. But yeah,
he made a great diving catch too. He looked great.
Yeah. This game was really frustrating, and plenty of reasons to. I know it's game 1 of the series. You never want to lose the first game of the series. Obviously, they did come back and win the next 2, but anything else on game 1? It was supposed to be Thursday, but it was pushed to Friday with the weather in Baltimore. But Friday, the Yankees got off to a losing start in this series. Anything else from game 1, Chris?
I think that's it. I think we can go to game 2.
All right, well, game 2 was Saturday night at Camden Yards. The Yankees took care of business 4-1. The Orioles did score their only run in the first inning off Johnny Brito off a sac fly. That was
literally off him, too, that inning.
Yeah,
they hit him right back off him.
Unfortunate.
Luckily, he's okay. Yeah.
And Santander was very close to hitting a 3-run homer, but he doesn't. Orioles only get 1. That felt like a big moment in the game. Then, of all people, Aaron Hicks, RBI ground ball that finds its way through the infield, scores Rizzo, ties the game at 1. Then DJ doubles in Volpe in the 5th. They take the lead after Volpe was tripled off the wall and right, very close to a homer. And then Judge sac fly LeMahieu in to make it 3-1, and then Giancarlo destroyed the ball over the left field wall. That was a 436-foot line drive from Big G to make it 4-1. And then that was all the scoring after the 5th. Pitching path to victories, Brito for 5, King for 2, Wandy for 1, and Clay for 1. This was just a really good bounce back, I think, from the tough first game of the series where a lot went wrong. Not much went wrong here. You get out of big jam. Brito looks really good, gets to 92 pitches. And then King, Peralta, Holmes shut the door.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we covered that. I mean, the Stanton home run was absolute missile. That was awesome to watch, and I actually called that one because I told my dad how locked in he looked for game one when he ripped that double. I was like, he's seeing it well, Glaber's seeing it well, and I told my dad not at bat, I didn't call that, but I said today Stanton will hit a home run, and he did. That was always nice, but yeah, only giving up one run is good because this Orioles offense too is no joke anymore.
No, they're not bad.
They had some really good young players out there, and they're like Gunnar Henderson. I know he's very young, but he's impressed me. And obviously, Adley Rutschman's been great, and then Mullins is good. They have some good guys out there.
Yet King, there was a little bit of worry about his pitch, about his arm.
Velocity.
Yeah,
Yeah.
velocity. I don't really think it climbed that much back. Because last year's fastball was like 95.7 average.
Now it's like 93 now.
Yeah, now it's 93,
It's low.
92. So that's something to look
Yeah.
out for. He did throw 32 bullets in this one over 2 innings. Looked pretty good. Only gave up 1 hit, 3 strikeouts. So it's only a minor thing. You know, he's got the 2-seamer. He's got the 4-seamer, the sweeper, the changeup. He's got a lot of options. But that's just something to look out for. Because from what I could tell, I was pretty surprising that he did not get surgery on his broken elbow, which is not an injury that you see a lot with pitchers.
I guess maybe it was just the way that it broke. Like I guess it was like clean
Yeah,
break, so they didn't have to do surgery. But
but
I don't know. He might. I don't know. I mean, he can pitch through it, and yeah, he loses 2 miles an hour, but it's still effective. I don't think it's a big deal.
yeah.
But if this starts to be where he's not effective anymore, it's gonna have to do something about it.
But Wandy, another shutdown inning, hasn't given up a run this year. And then Clay, 1 walk, but strikeout looked pretty sharp in this one. And let's hold off on Clay Holmes for Game 3 because he also did it again in Game 3. But
Yeah,
the Volpe triple was cool. The Hicks RBI was great, even though it was a ground ball that just got through.
yeah, but it's good to see for
Yeah.
him though. But yeah.
And Stanton had 2 nice hits in this one. And I don't really think there's anything else to talk about here. I mean, they got Irvin out of the game. He threw 100 pitches before he got through 5, which was important. I thought this game the Yankees really, they had a lot of good at bats, even when they got out. I mean, there was no quick outs, there was no quick first pitch ground balls or anything like that. It seemed like every count was 2-2, 3-2. But anything else from Game 2, Chris? A really nice Yankee bounce back after a tough Game 1.
I think that's it. I think played a great game, especially pitching wise, which is really important, especially early on in the season. But yeah, I think that was good. Was that the one? I'm trying to think. 'Cause I didn't realize today that Glaber had an error, but that was that game, right?
I didn't
And
think.
Glaber had a ground ball to him and
Yeah.
he botched it.
Yep.
Yeah, but that'll happen. But
I don't
wanted
think
to
it
point
cost
that
him,
out.
though. But yeah, only giving up 4 hits.
Not directly.
Yeah,
I think it extended the inning, but yeah.
but the way he's hitting, you got to be okay with that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah. So we'll go to Game 3. This was today, this afternoon. It was Easter Sunday. A lot of people are busy. And with the Masters on as well, you might have missed it. Yankees take the series. They've won 3 rubber games in a row, 3 last game of the series, which is good because there was a while there where we would never win the last game of the series. But
It's an important thing to do.
yeah, Nestor pitched pretty solidly. Only 2 runs over 5 1/3 innings. Again, when he left the game, he had given up no runs. I know those runs get credited to him, but maybe something different will happen if he got left in. But Stanton had a nice RBI single in the first. Then Judge flicked a fastball over the center field wall in the 3rd inning. And then Franchi Cordero hit his 2nd homer of the series to make it 4-0 in the 5th off the team that cut him after spring training. And he had the best spring training of his career, too. So that was pretty nice to see. Then Santander doubled the first batter that Albert Abreu faced in the 6th, scoring those 2 runs, making it 4-2. And then Judge homered into the bullpens in left center in the 8th to make it 5-2. And then Rutschman homered to right, just turned on a Cordero fastball or slider into right field for a solo shot, made it 5-3. That was all the scoring in this one. The pitching path was Nestor to Abreu to Marinaccio to Jimmy Cordero to Clay Holmes. So, pretty solid victory here, Chris. I know you didn't catch a lot of it, but Judge 3 hits, Rizzo 2 hits, Cordero 2 hits. Never thought we were going to lose this game. I watched most of it. Never thought we were going to lose this game. And a really solid end of the series. Anything to add?
Got a little lucky in the first inning. I did see that Rizzo play with the Sun. I mean, it wasn't an easy play, but Sun certainly helped out there. And yeah, if you look and you told me that Glaber and Cabrera would go 0 for 4, both of them, and neither of them would get a walk or anything, I would have told you that we might be in some trouble because Glaber's been hot, but we got around that. And DJ going 0 for 4 as well. But and Volpe 0 for 3, but he's been struggling a little bit. We can talk about Volpe a little bit, but I like how he did get the championship belt after that triple. I felt that was a good veteran thing by Judge and Stanton and Cole and those guys to give him the belt to kind of let him know they got his back when he's struggling, give him some confidence. And that triple, my God, he was 2 feet to the right, 2 feet to the left, and that's a home run. And that was tough to watch because I thought that was gone, like when he hit it. But him speeding around those bases though, even Michael Kay was like, "Oh, and that's a double for." Oh wait, he's going to third. Like, I love seeing that because he just got the wheels, man. Like seeing him in person, I think that's the most impressive thing about him is his wheels, and that's saying something because he's a very good all around player.
Yeah, we'll be struggling, no doubt about it. But
Yeah,
I think he's just swinging in a couple too many pitches, right? He's
swinging too early. He can't
Yeah.
swing on the first pitch every time and fall behind 0-1 every time.
You've said this before that his plate discipline's great, and we've seen it at times. I think today he spit on an awesome breaking ball from whoever the Orioles starter was, Wells. I mean, it was an 0-2 curveball that was a great pitch, and he didn't swing. But yeah, I think he just needs to hang in there a little bit more. Maybe foul a couple more pitches off. He's not. His hands do drop a little bit in that swing, and people are starting to find a hole at the top of the zone with his fastball.
Yeah, they're pitching him up. Yeah.
But the key to do that is to not fall behind. And we saw early a lot of people were pouring balls down the middle to Volpe on the first pitch because they knew he probably wanted to take because he was nervous and probably wanted to see a couple extra pitches. Well, now it seems like he's down 0-2 every at bat. And it's just hard. It's just hard to do anything with that because you're getting, spinners. You're getting people trying to hit the corner, and sometimes MLB pitchers do hit their spots, and it's just tough. But
I mean, well, the one positive thing is I feel like he's not doing what Stanton does when Stanton gets in those streaks where he strikes out. Is there's a pitch that's not even close, like he'll lay off, and I feel like when he's striking out, he's just a little bit later, a little bit under it. He's like close on the strikeouts, but like he's not whiffing at things he shouldn't really be hit. I mean, he's done that a couple times.
But
like,
not much.
For the most part, he looks like he's pretty on it. He's just a little bit off.
Yeah, he's got to learn to lay off those high
fastballs.
He's got to learn to lay off the high fastballs because the ones that are in the strike zone, he can get to, at least to foul them off. It's the ones that are above the strike zone and are clearly balls. No umpire will call them. Even with 2 strikes, you gotta just take a little bit. I do think he probably should get a day off here in the next series. Starts tomorrow against Cleveland, 3 games. Maybe tomorrow will get an off day because it's Bieber on the hill for them, but we'll talk about that later. But yeah, I'm not really worried yet. I think he should. There are a couple at-bats where he looks bad, but there are also some at-bats where he looks really good. And with his speed out there, there's a lot of reasons to keep him in the lineup, even if he's not hitting like we think. But
he had a walk today.
Yeah, he had 2 flyouts to center too. I mean,
one was deep.
Yeah, he's had a couple deep flyouts, even in the first couple games to right. I know he just missed one, but he's so close to hitting a homer. He really is.
Yeah.
And
he needs to get that monkey off his back, I think. And once he does, I think he could hit like 15 this year.
Yeah, no, yeah, but he's got to just have maybe 2 or 3 multi-hit games in a week, something like that,
Yeah,
where
just get the confidence up, get
yeah,
the average
yeah,
up.
because after the triple yesterday, you could see like everybody was cheering for him, and today he kind of like his first at bat. I think it was the 3-pitch strikeout, if I'm not mistaken, in the third. Let me look here. It just seemed like he was never in the at bat.
Yeah,
In the top of the third. Let's see here. So it was actually
I
six.
think it was.
It was 6 pitches, but yeah, he missed a 93-mile-an-hour fastball that was in the center of the strike zone, middle, and he also fouled off a
Yeah,
four-seamer 2 pitches before that was also in the middle. So that's what Boone
yeah,
says a lot. We're just fouling off too many good pitches to hit.
good
So
pitches. Yeah,
yeah, I don't think I'm really worried yet. His average is 143. Yeah, like I said, a couple multi-hit games, getting that average in the twos, and then he can start
yeah,
going a little bit. His defense has been
yeah.
fine, just one error. But Judge, obviously 2 homers, 4 homers in the first 9 games for him. Took him 17 last year to get 4. So little.
Maybe he'll hit like 120 something this year.
Yeah,
Then.
he's on pace for 77 or something like that.
Yeah.
But Rizzo seems to be getting more hits this year with no shift. I know he had that little single to left field that probably shouldn't have been a hit, but
We'll take it.
yeah, he's had a couple that have ripped through first and second base that would not have been hits last year. So I really do think Rizzo's going to have a much better year average wise. He had a home run robbed today by Mullins. Nice play.
Yep. Saw that.
Kay seemed to think it wouldn't have gotten over the fence, which I didn't quite understand. Looked pretty clearly like that was going to get over, but Big G's rolling too, hitting missiles, taking the ball the other way. Glaber did have a bad game today. He grounded to a double play, strikeout, ground out, and a line out to center. But yeah, I think at the end of the day, pretty good series. Not going to win every game. And you just got to keep winning series to build up your record. You can't win the division in April, but you can certainly lose it. And so before we go into awards here, anything else about Game 3?
No, I just think it was great that we won the rubber game again. I mean, it's it's tremendously important to win, especially against the division teams, because who knows? Like the Orioles, they went
Yeah, we don't
from
play him as
50
much
something
anymore.
wins. Yeah, but they went 50 something wins to 80, like 3 or whatever. They jumped up 30, and they're just getting better and better. I know their starting pitching is not great, but we're gonna have to, when we play the Rays. We're gonna have to win most of those games, and we play the Blue Jays and the Red Sox. Like, it'll be really important. So yeah, I guess we can move on now. But just the last division games, it makes each one even more important.
So Jackson has phoned in his award winners. So since we already know what it is, Chris, for King of the Series, here we are at Yankees Kingdom. Our award is King of the Series. I believe it was your turn to go first for that today. Obviously,
Yeah,
we already know
I'm gonna
Jackson's pick, and don't double up
yeah.
on that, but take it away.
So double check who he picked. I think he picked Sten, right?
Yep.
Yeah, he picked Sten. Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Judge. I mean, our captain. I mean, he's he's obviously the best player on this team, but he looked locked in, especially today with 2 home runs, 3 hits, and defensively too. He had diving catch, save a run. He he looks like, I know he's a right fielder, but a center fielder, he looks like one of the best center fielders in the league. It's crazy.
Yeah, he's actually
He's
center
awesome,
fielder on
and
MLB The Show this year because he played 81 games there last year or something like that.
he stole second too the other day. Like, he's, for a guy who's 6'7", he can move. He really can. He's nimble on the base paths and great fielder. And obviously the bat came around today, so that was great to see.
Yeah, so Jackson is going with Stanton, pretty self-explanatory there. He's really hitting it well, and
Very locked in.
he's playing the field. I think probably once a series we'll see him in the field. Maybe twice in some of these smaller ballparks. Maybe twice at home for a one-off. But I think 1 out of 3 is the way they're going now. Hopefully that continues. For my king of the series, I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with Franchy Cordero. I mean,
Okay, good one. I was looking at that one, but I knew I had
Yeah.
the early pick, so I was like, I can't use it on that. But
yeah, because I mean, he is really an important piece all of a sudden for the Yankees.
definitely.
As a left-handed bat and someone who can play the corner outfield positions, those are the weak spots in the Yankee team right now. And if he's able to be just an average major league bat, he's gonna get a lot of playing time. And he seems to be in there against righties as a lefty batter. He'll be in there again tomorrow against Bieber, I assume. And I think it just really lengthens the lineup when he's hitting homers, and he's always been an exit velocity guy, even when he was in the minors and with the Red Sox. I think he hit a couple long homers against us, but against the team that cut you after you hit like 400 in spring, I was really happy for Franchy Cordero, and I hope he keeps doing it, because if he does, he's going to stick around when Bader comes back. And Willie Calhoun obviously is up now for Donaldson. He's going to go when Donaldson comes back. But I guess we transition to this, Chris. If Cordero's playing well enough, Hicks is the one who's going to go. Do you
100%.
think the Yankees actually will do it? I would say no, but they did make the right call on Volpe. Do you think they make the right decision on Hicks if Cordero keeps proving to be a pretty quality player?
I think it's really tough for them to move on from him because he was a good Yankee, I would say, for most of his career. I mean, obviously at the end it's been bad, but he handled the media great. He was a good guy. The fans, for the most part, liked him in the beginning and played good defensively, good switch hitter. But I think that his time is certainly over, and I think the sooner the better. But it's going to be tough for them to actually make that move because of the organization that they are and where they hold themselves and things like that. But I think that it's definitely in the best interest of the team, and I think they have to move on.
Yeah, and I mean, Franchy Cordero's tied for the lead on the team in RBIs with 7. Judge also has 7, but
That's crazy. And
yeah, he's
when
had
we think about
12 at bats.
the playing time difference between those two, yeah.
Yeah, he's had 12 at bats and he has 7 RBIs. Obviously, that's something that's not going to continue, but 14 at bats. My bad. He had 12 at bats when he hit his home run today, but
Yeah.
Judge had 33 at bats. So yeah, I think he's got to be in there, especially with his ability to play corner outfield, and I think he's a pretty good choice for this award. So we'll go to our other award, which is the biggest disappointment of the series, and so far we've had 3 series wins, so we've had a lot of nice things to say about our kings of the series, and we have to pick somebody for both. Plenty of choices for kings in these first couple series, and not many choices for disappointments. We'll see what happens when we lose a series, because we're not going to go the entire season without losing a series. But Jackson would be going first for this one. He's going to go with Clark Schmidt. Again, I think pretty self-explanatory. Clark's got to be doing more for us right now in the position that we're in with our pitchers. And 2 of the 3 losses we've had this year, he's pitched in. So he will get
Coincidence.
He will get another chance against Cleveland, if I'm not mistaken. No,
he misses it by a game, right?
It'll be Domingo.
Be the next.
No, he was game 1. He'll get the last game. It's gonna be Domingo, Cole, and Schmidt. But yeah, he's gonna get a couple more opportunities, but pretty disappointing so far. So I'm the middle for disappointment. I got 2 in mind, Chris. One you kind of we already talked about. And the other we kind of already talked about too. Let's see here. A or B? I'm going to go with Boone. You took him last week.
Yeah, that's funny because he was one of my options for this as well.
Yeah, I think he really kind of lost the first game. I mean, we've seen over the years how down the stretch of the year it's razor thin, and the Yankees don't really treat April as if they want to win every game. I don't think many organizations do, but yeah, that was just really poor. 3-4 mistakes like that in a game, in a single game, that's kind of unacceptable. So Boone's my disappointment in the series, even though we won it, and I know you got him last week. So
Yeah.
But yeah, we can criticize his moves all day, and he'll make a couple more bad moves. I can guarantee that for the rest of the year. But yeah, he's my disappointment of the series. I think he was the reason why we lost the first game, and hopefully he doesn't cost us again soon.
So I'm gonna go with the other Cordero pitcher, Jimmy Cordero, and he pitched game 1 and game 3, and I think he pitched 2/3 of an inning in game 1 and a full inning in the third game. But he had a run in each start, and I don't think he has the best stuff. Like you said, he's bounced around quite a bit, and I feel like he is definitely towards the bottom of our roster, if you including everyone, not even just pitchers. So I feel like if we do make a trade or something mid-season, I think he's not going to be like traded, but he probably won't be on the team. I just feel like he's not going to be there long term, and especially if we're in the playoffs, I do not want this guy pitching. I know we're getting ahead of ourselves, like playoffs, but
Yeah,
like
he's probably going to be a casualty of one of our couple bullpen guys coming back. But yeah, go ahead.
exactly, I don't want him in any high leverage situation. Just even the eye test, just watching him, I just really don't think he's very good.
Yeah, he throws hard, but who knows where that thing's going. I mean, he tugged, 6 sinkers into the ground in one inning.
Yeah.
But yeah, we didn't need that. I know he was sharper today, and he looked pretty good after giving up that homer to Adley. But yeah, Boone shouldn't have put him in that spot. And obviously, you can make up for your manager's mistake and actually come through, but he didn't. So I get it. So those are our awards for today. Oh, we're at 43 minutes here. I know a couple of minutes of dead air there as we had technical difficulties, but I think that's it, Chris. Unless you have anything to add.
We're just gonna preview the Guardian series quick, and then
Yeah. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday this week, the Yankees are going to Progressive Field in Ohio. ALDS rematch. Game 1 will be Domingo Germán against Shane Bieber tomorrow at 6:10, not 7:10. So if you're going to watch that game, be on the lookout. It's an hour earlier. Game 2, Tuesday, will be Garrett Cole against Hunter Gaddis, also at 6:10. And then Wednesday, getaway day, will be at 1:10, and that'll be Clark Schmidt against Aaron Savali. So a 3-game set before a 4-game set against the Twins back home at the stadium. I think we're in good shape. Actually, no. I don't think we're in good shape to win this series. We got two of our worst starters going.
Yeah.
And I know Cole's going. If I had to guess, I think we probably lose tomorrow and then win Tuesday, and then Wednesday's a toss-up because Savali's pretty bad. We've got him before. But Clark is also pretty bad, so...
I agree. I feel like it's tough, but I also think we got Bieber's number, though.
We do. We've gotten Bieber before. I think we beat him last 3 times.
I think that game 2 with Cole, we got to win that.
Yeah.
Game 1 with Germán, yeah, I mean...
It would be nice to win it.
I think Germán is significantly better than Clark Schmidt.
Yeah.
And I think that he will be able to keep us in the game. So he might not get the win himself, but he'll keep us in the game. And I think we can get 4 runs off Bieber and keep it interesting.
No, I think if we win Monday, it would be great. if we don't, I think we can. You know, we won't have Holmes tomorrow because he's pitched 2 days in a row. We probably won't have Wandy, so we
I
won't
was
have
gonna say
King.
we don't want to be in a game where we're losing going into the ninth because they got Class A and he's phenomenal. He's
Yeah,
top of the crop with Diaz out. I think he's probably the best closer. So we really want to be ahead of these guys and have the lead when they're going to hit in the bottom of the ninth. So
yeah. This can't be one of those games where we lose before a ball's even thrown, right?
yeah,
The middle game in the Phillies series comes
and
to
no
mind.
punt lineups,
No
no
punt
punt lineups.
lineups. Put a team out there with a chance to win. And if you're down by 4 in the eighth inning, then okay, you can pitch
Yeah,
whoever. But
take Judge, take those guys off
yeah,
their feet, do it. I don't
but
care.
like game 1 of the ALCS comes to mind. Like you don't lose the game before the ball's thrown. You know, Judge might get a day off here, but hopefully it's not this one. But yeah, just don't lose the game before the game starts. And then give your team a chance to win. You know, you never know what happens. Herman had 8 strikeouts last time out and only 4 2/3. Yeah, I know he did give up 4 runs, but he did have his swing and miss stuff. Maybe he gets that again. And the Guardians are 6-4, I believe. They haven't been phenomenal. They've been pretty solid. I guess solid this year, but I'd like to see us to win the Cole game, and then to win the series, I think we've got to get a good start out of Clark or Domingo. And I think we're in agreement that it's more likely to come from Herman. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I mean, you never know. And let's win another series. Why not? Yeah, we'll see you guys Wednesday evening or night for the Guardians recap. So for Sean Vowles and Chris Lorenzo, thanks for tuning in to New York Yankees Kingdom today. Our Orioles series recap. This episode is presented by Sports Daily Media Network and picks by Chris. Be sure to check out our websites and our New York Yankees Kingdom Instagram account. Posted some highlights today. Most games will do that, and then obviously lineups and finals for every game. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you guys